Hello and welcome to my review of the Panasonic PT-AE 7000, also known as the PT-AE 5000 in Europe. The box itself that this product came in, which I received earlier today, is just merely a brown box with blue writing on the side saying Panasonic PT-AE 7000, so really nothing to see there. This is a remote control that you get in the box. Pretty basic remote. It is backlit. It's not glow-in-the-dark buttons, it's actually backlit buttons. It's a very basic remote, but to my surprise, it allows me to control my PlayStation 3. So if my PlayStation 3 is connected directly to the device, I can go ahead and bring up menus and forward, rewind. You can do the basics with this. Takes 2 AA batteries, comes with them as well. You also get 2 of these as the power cord. One's a European one. You also get a UK one, which is in the wall at the moment. So one thing that I would say is when you get this in, I kept pressing power, nothing was happening. You have to push this in very hard for it to go all the way in. This is the basic operating instructions that comes with it. It's very basic. It's in several languages. If you want the proper instructions, it comes on a CD. If you insert this into a Windows computer, it'll run automatically. However, if like me you have a Mac, you need to navigate through the menus and find you need to navigate through the disk content and find the manual in your specific language. Only thing I would recommend is drag and drop the manual onto your desktop, because for some reason, if it's reading the manual off the disk and you change pages, it makes your disk drive spin really fast and it takes a long time for it to load specific pages. Yep. That's pretty much all you get in the box. You do not get any 3D glasses. Cheapest I could find this in the UK was for £2,199, and at that price point it would have been nice for them to chuck in at least one pair of 3D glasses. Let's take a look at the device itself. Okay, you've got the cover of the lens, and just to the right of this you have a panel that comes off. These look like LED lights, but they're actually the transmitter for the 3D glasses. You have a joystick here, which you can lock into place, and if you twist it, it unlocks. And what this allows you to do is, if you take a look at the lens, as you can see, the lens actually moves around. Now this is fantastic, and I'll explain why. Previously I had my old projector on the ceiling, and it needed to be perfectly in line with the screen that I was projecting the image onto. However, since this moves, it no longer needs to be on the ceiling. I put it on a table which is about 1.5 feet off the ground, and I can just move this up and to the left, and what that will do is it will give me the exact same image on the wall as if my projector was dead center and in the middle, hanging off the ceiling. But it's really not dead center at all. It's quiet. It's almost completely to the side of the room. But with the lens shift, it's brilliant because it allows me to have the image as if it was flat in the middle of the room, which is great. So let's just go ahead and put that back. At the front, you also have a vent. You have 2 on the sides. Those suck in air, and this one blows out the air. The top of this comes off, and over here you have just a simple screw, which when you undo, you can gain access to the bulb and change the bulb. At the top of the projector, you also have 3 lights. One warns you when the temperature is too high, the lamp light, which warns you when your lamp's gone low, and the standby light. On this side of the projector, we have just a serial number. On the back, as I said, there was another vent over here. If we take a look at the inputs, you can see that we have 3 HDMI. They're all 1.4 since it's a 3D projector. We have computer in, so if you wanted to connect your laptop or computer to the projector, you can. We have the serial connector, which is for them to access stuff such as the firmware and to make changes to the software side of things inside. Unfortunately, you can't update the firmware on this machine yourself, which is a real shame. Keep watching the review and I'll explain why it would have saved everyone who buys this projector a hell of a lot of hassle had they have given us the option to update this firmware ourselves. I mean, the TV I have, I can update the firmware over Wi-Fi or USB stick. Same with my AV amplifier, update the firmware with USB, Xbox, PlayStation, but unfortunately you can't on this. Okay, you also have your component input, S-video, and composite input. You have the trigger 3D shutter out. Now what this is, I'll put a picture up on it. Okay, so what this is the projector itself has a 20-foot range for the 3D glasses. It can send a signal up to 20 feet. If you buy this other attachment, it then increases that to 32 feet. As a result of the extra 12 feet, you're looking at the cheapest I found this for was £140. So if you need that, if your room's big enough that you're going to need that, you need to factor that in, because as I said, this doesn't come with 3D glasses, and you're looking at £140 for the signal to be extended on the 3D glasses, and the 3D glasses cheapest I found was on eBay, and those were £40 each as well. So not cheap. Let's go ahead and put this cover back on. And finally, on this side of the projector, we have the basic functions: power, input select, focus. I didn't find I needed to mess with that too much. The device focused in pretty well itself, and you also have the zoom buttons, so you don't need to mess about by turning the front of the lens anymore. And at the bottom, you have these, which allow you to tilt the projector up at the front if you've got it on a low table. That is pretty much it. The final point I would like to make before I actually go into the use of the projector and go into picture quality and show you how it works is the size of this thing. This thing weighs 20 pounds. It weighs, I believe it's 19.3 actually, but it weighs very close to 20 pounds. For us UK folks, that's over 1.5 stones. It's a very heavy projector, which is very good that this lens shift allows me to place it on a table towards the back of the room, because my plasterboard ceiling would not be able to take the weight. Panasonic do have a special ceiling mount for this. I've only found it one place so far online, and it is a staggering €370, which is absolutely insane. But the final point I'd like to make is the actual size as well. This is a PlayStation 3. If you take a look at the size of the projector compared to the PlayStation 3, I mean, let me just go ahead and move the camera back. This thing is a beast. It's twice the thickness of a PlayStation 3, so make sure you have a lot of space for this. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to use this 4 or 5 days, and then I will come back and give you a review on my thoughts of the image quality and if I recommend this or not.